Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to a brand new chapter. That's right, this is no longer the Delaware Blogger Podcast. I've taken a turn for the awesome and revamped the show entirely for a generation that's anything but retiring. This is Boomers and Beyond with the Delaware Blogger. Now, are you over 55 and looking for a podcast that speaks your language? Well, you've come to the right place. Whether you're rocking retirement or still chasing that corner office, Boomers and Beyond is your weekly dose of fun, friendly conversation that's all about things that matter to you. Now, we're going to be diving into lifestyle topics like health and wellness, travel adventures for the young at heart, navigating family dynamics. We're going to talk about adult children too, exploring delicious food options, and of course, finding ways to keep life fun and exciting. Now, each week it's going to be like chatting with your best friend over coffee or tea or juice or whatever you prefer. But hey, you won't even have to get out of your pajamas because we're going to be sharing stories and swapping ideas and tips and maybe even sharing a tear or two, but mostly tears of laughter. And guess what? This show is for you. So if there's a topic that you want to discuss, let me know. Leave a comment. Go to delblogger.com when you see this episode hit the blog and let me know what you'd like me to cover in future episodes. So go grab yourself your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's get ready to boom on the Boomers and Beyond with the Delaware Blogger Podcast. So did you know that I was 55 years old when I started recording episodes for my podcast? Yep. The Delaware Blogger Podcast. It was on a hosting platform called Anchor. Remember Anchor? It was a free community. It was a great place to just, bite your teeth to learn more about podcasting. But as the popularity of podcasting increased, so did Anchor. And Anchor got bigger and bought out by Spotify. Now it's still free. And I was there for a long time until I transferred over here to Buzzsprout, which I really love. And I upped my game and became more focused. When I was on Anchor, I was just recording episodes between stoplights on 202 as I commuted up and down the road between Middletown, Delaware, and Westchester, Pennsylvania. Again, it was just a community where we were just talking to each other, no rhyme or reason. But now that I'm on a paid platform, a paid hosted platform with Buzzsprout, and I'm going to leave that link in case you're interested. I am now creating more content. And with AI, it is getting so much better. Yes, you still have to provide AI with the content that you're looking for and putting your own personal spin on it. But you know what? It is becoming a greater platform, especially for boomers and beyond. And there are other applications out there like Castmagic. And Castmagic actually will take this audio, transcribe it, and give me quotes and, just do so much great things with the AI capabilities. And I'm going to leave the link to Castmagic as well. And let me tell you, I'm an affiliate to both Buzzsprout and Castmagic. So forewarned, yes, yes, yes. They're not sponsoring the Delaware Blogger Podcast, but they support it like nobody's business. So in this episode number 363, I want to talk about the podcast popularity by boomers and beyond. Last week, we talked about why, boomer bias. But you know what? That shouldn't stop you. There are so many people over the age of 50. Again, I started when I was 55. I'm 62. We have a wealth of life experiences and knowledge that we want to share with others. And starting a podcast allows us to share those interests and those passions to a much wider audience. And we like to talk, right? And last week I talked about, just simply dictating into your smartphone. And then you can use something like Castmagic to create those transcripts. And then boom, there you go. You have a show. Podcasting is also a great creative outlet for us. It allows us to express ourselves, to give our unique perspectives and ideas about the world. Whatever our topic is, whatever topic or niche that you choose, you are putting your own spin on it. So forget about that, imposter syndrome that everybody is starting a podcast. Well, everybody can be starting a podcast, but there's only going to be one podcast by you. And it's a great way to get yourself out there and connect with others, creating a community. Podcasting can be a great way for us boomers and beyond to connect with others who share similar interests and experiences. It can also build greater camaraderie. And we say, I was just talking to someone that was older, and we're talking about the new State Farm Jake, the one that represents State Farm. Thinking back then with the other State Farm Jake, he had one commercial. The new State Farm Jake has so many commercials, it's pathetic. And when we're talking about that, it's like, back in the day, we remembered there was just one person for one product. Where's the beef? Mr. Whipple. So this is a great way to grow and connect and create a community with a podcast. A podcast can also be great for learning and growth. Starting a podcast can be a great way for us to continue learning, growing both personally and professionally. There's some of us that are still out there working, not me, but I know some of you guys are still out there doing that 9 to 5 grind. And it's also a great way to stay mentally active and engaged if you don't have that 9 to 5. This is something that you look forward to. It becomes your part-time side gig, whatever the case may be. And the flexibility and control, oh my gosh, podcasting offers flexibility and a low cost way to create and share content. We have full control over the content and the format of our show. And like I said, you don't have to go out and break the bank by buying expensive equipment. I'm going to leave you the link to some of the smaller pieces of equipment that I started out with back in 2017. And it does not have to break the bank. And you may be saying, hey, but what are people listening for? What are boomers and beyond listening for? Well, let me give you 5 of the most searched podcast topics for men over 50, as well as those for women over 50. Number 1 for men, health and fitness. Men over 50 are often interested in maintaining their physical and mental health as they age. So they're going to be looking for podcasts that offer tips and advice on staying fit and healthy. And now that we want to talk more, this is a great way to build that community. The second most popular podcast topic that men over the age of 50 look for is retirement and financial planning. As men approach retirement age, they search for podcasts that offer advice on financial planning, investing, and managing their retirement funds, which we should all have, right? The third one, most obvious. No, I shouldn't say that. Sports and recreation, right? They're active, interactive. They're still interested in sports and recreational activities. So they're going to search for podcasts that cover their favorite sports or outdoor activities. Number 4, business and entrepreneurship. Some people are thinking about, like I did, starting a business or becoming an encore entrepreneur. You guys know what that is, right? An encore entrepreneur is anyone over the age of 50 that's looking to start over and create something that they always wanted to do, such as podcast coaching or blogging or, health and wellness or whatever. But this is a great way to start your entrepreneurship after the age of 50. Find those podcasts that offer advice and inspiration for older entrepreneurs. Because remember, we have more years behind us than we have in front of us. And those, experts and gurus are talking about we got this much time to do, we got to get up and early. No, we don't have time for that. We got to do what we want to do when we're comfortable in doing it. And the last one, the last podcast, the topic that's searched most by men over 50 is personal development. Personal development, self-improvement. They want tips and strategies for personal growth and success. So those are just 5 of the most searched podcast topics for men over 50. So if you're thinking about starting a podcast and you're a guy, health and fitness, retirement and financial planning, sports and recreation, business and entrepreneurship, and personal development. So next, let's talk about the most searched podcast topic for women over the age of 50. Number one, health and wellness. Women over the age of 50 may search for podcasts that offer advice on maintaining their physical and mental health, managing menopause, diabetes, healthcare. And we're talking about heart health next week. So there are a lot of health related issues that we're interested in. And these types of podcasts are very, very popular. The second most popular search podcast for women over 50 is relationships and family. We're interested in maintaining a strong relationship with our husbands, our spouses, our partners, with our children and our grandchildren. So they're going to be searching for podcasts that offer advice on family dynamics and communication. And old school learning is the best type of learning, and we can offer advice on so much when it comes to relationship and family. The third one, for me, I think it should be number one, travel and adventure, right? We are looking for travel because we got more free time. We want to explore new places. So there's going to be podcasts out there on travel, inspiration for adventure. So whether it's single travel, family travel, girl travel, spouse travel, whatever, this would be a great topic to have a podcast on to share that information with those that are looking to do so. And there's some affiliate opportunities as well. Fourth one, personal finance. That's right. We are going to be looking for advice on managing our money, planning for retirement, and investing for the future. Even though we have more years behind us than we have in front of us, we want to make our money work for us and last a long time. So that's a great type podcast. If you have any financial information, any financial background, that would be a great podcast. And last but not least is hobbies and interests. Now that could run the gamut from, cooking, gardening, crafting, so much you can share on a podcast. So if you're thinking about starting a podcast and you're over the age of 50 or you're a boomer and beyond, these are just a few of the most searched podcasts for women over the age of 50. Health and wellness, relationships and family, travel and adventure, personal finance, hobbies and interests. And you may even want to find a podcast about something that you've been searching. Leave me that information. Leave me a comment. What is it that you want to learn more about? What is it that you're interested in doing? Those are always great topics when I am coaching others in starting a podcast. So first and foremost, I want to thank you all for listening to today's episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast. And if you found anything that I've said of interest to you, please subscribe and share it with others. You may even want to leave a rating or review and check out a few other episodes while you're here too. I invite you to subscribe to DellBlogger.com because that's where you're going to get the show notes. You're going to get information. You're going to have the option to purchase the Podcasting Your Purpose resource guide and so much other things out there. The Wellness Wednesday tips are just amazing for 2024. So until the next time, stay smart, stay safe, and stay social because I will see you in cyberspace. See ya. It's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger, wishing you and yours a beautifully blessed day. Bye-bye. Well, folks, that's all we have for you today on Boomers and Beyond with the Delaware Blogger. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation and maybe even learned something new. Now, remember, if there's a topic that you'd like me to talk about, don't be shy. Leave a comment on the website. When this podcast episode hits Dell Blogger, you'll be able to leave a comment, dellblogger.com. And even if you have suggestions, I love that too. Hey, I'm also looking for some fantastic sponsors and collaborators who cater to the amazing 55 plus community. So if you're a business owner, have a business or service, and you think it would be a great fit for the show, send an email to info at ablakeenterprises.com, and we'll get in touch real soon. Again, thanks for joining us on this journey, and I'll see you right back here next Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for another exciting episode of Boomers and Beyond with the Delaware Blogger. And until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep on booming.